And thanks again to Jello Penguin for doing the drone coverage for this tournament. Go ahead and check his channel out. He's got some coverage as well. Thanks again for all of your support, liking and subscribing and sharing and showing the love in the Pacific Northwest. We're doing our best out here to show you what we got.
Good luck, everybody. Have a good one.
I'm running catch cam. James is on camera 1. I want him to get all that mullet glory. I think it's beautiful, but I don't
let
got
that
one.
thing just let it flow in the wind, man. I tell you, I get more jealous every time I see it.
It's pretty nice. All right, Baka Box got the flags going. Yep.
Those are nice looking too. Nice looking flags. They're not quite as nice as the shorts that Joel's got on. Really making a statement today. And that's a good drive. Came out perfectly, right? Yeah, right down the right side. He played that kind of wide right. I think that's probably the most common lane chosen by a right-hand backhand player. You can kind of get up the middle. I think that's a little bit more advantageous for the shorter pin location. I am excited to watch Carter play. This kid is on the up and up. The ceiling is non-existent. Look forward to watching him smash him.
Yeah, he's the local young phenom out of Gig Harbor, Washington. He's really killing it with those dynamic discs.
What a drive too. Way to start it out.
And he pretty much parks it.
Yeah, the whole Ahrens clan does really well. His brother, also an amazing disc golfer. Mom and dad are just huge supporters. One of the better disc golf families in the Northwest. Looks a little low from Chandler there. Not quite what he was hoping for, but it does seem to be pretty windy, which is a common occurrence out there at SeaTac.
Yeah, Chandler is from Texas, so he might be having some weather on the brain. We'll see what happens to that. We got Justin. He is a local from Seattle as well. He's got 3 career wins and got out there. Let's see how well we all do here.
That's a good up from Chandler. You know, cleans up a little bit of a early mistake. No harm, no foul. Looking at a par, which is what most of the field did this round. It just averaged a 2.99, so barely under par. Most of the field looking to just card 3s on this. Joel for his birdie opportunity here. Joel's a super nice guy, very methodical player, and what, oh man, I thought that was in the whole way. What a good run.
So close. What do you think of the new graphics update?
Looks fantastic, man. It's way clean. I like the color combination and having the players' names to the side. I think it kind of clears up some of that real estate. Looks good. Always moving forward here.
Great birdie from Carter. Oh, thanks. Doing my best to make it better each time as much as possible. Like Carter killing it with that birdie.
I expect nothing less. The man's a killer out there on the course. Love watching him play.
No damage from Chandler. He'll get another chance. There we go. Same with Justin. So hole 2 is coming up.
Coming up next. Joel gonna tap in. Pretty easy work for the card. Carter taking a quick little lead. Hole 1 starting the way you want to start.
That's right.
All right, here we are. Hole 2, another par 3, 244. It would appear it is in the left-hand location. It's kind of protected by a grove of trees. It's one of 2 locations on the hole. a lot of local players will kind of split the biggest gap you see in the trees there, just to the left, and I'm assuming that's what Carter's going to do, probably looking to throw a forehand. That's a pretty common play for this position. The other position would be just kind of dead straight ahead there, but
Yeah, and this does kind of play at 2.93, so right in the middle of the.
Yeah, and in this particular position, I feel that it's the more challenging version of the hole. As I said, the other version is just a straight up about 240 or something, a pretty similar distance, but there's a lot more to work with here. Not only do you have to hit that initial gap, you kind of have a low ceiling to deal with, and Joel put himself in the circle, hopefully not too obstructed by some of the shul there.
Ooh, Chandler gets a good wind burst here.
He brought that wind all the way from Texas to feel like he was at home. There we go. Makes a good correction off the first. Keeps it low enough to get under the ceiling, but doesn't hit the worm burner like he did on hole 1. Good correction. Should have an opportunity there. Justin going a little wide there. That's going to give him a little bit more trouble to deal with, but there is a window there, so.
Yeah, looks like there's a little bit of a pretty much similar putt for everybody. Let's see if they can
I think
capitalize.
Carter's gonna try to show him the way here. Great bid.
Ooh, just a little short.
On line though, hit the front. Keeps it close. It'll be a nice easy tap in. Got Justin lining up from about the same spot. Buddy,
Ooh, almost hits the bunny.
Get out of there, bunny. Nice birdie from Joel, able to just stretch out a little bit, take a knee, line up, and hit a nice putt. For those of you that haven't had the chance to play SeaTac, it is one of the more challenging courses in the Washington State, but it is also one of the most rewarding and one of the more beautiful courses to play. Definitely get out and check it out. And if Chuck Mintz is running an event, you know it's going to be a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's a pleasure to have big names coming in from the tour, because this was right near the Beaver State and all that Portland Open stuff. So, hole 3, tell us about it.
This one is challenging. This looks to be in the furthest location possible. I would argue that this is one of the hardest tee shots on the course. You have a low ceiling the entire way, and there is just so much to contest with. The angle that you're seeing, the straight line that you want to take, does not continue straight to the basket. There's kind of a little snaking on the fairway there, so you're either going to have a real lucky tee shot or you're going to have to kind of play placement. And this hole played quite a bit over par for the event. It was a 3.72, nearly a full stroke over par. Joel doesn't care. He doesn't care how hard I'd say the hole is.
He said, I'm a professional. I'm going to just park it.
He's like,
Whatever.
Did you see these shorts? I showed up for business today. Look at these shorts, you know? Ooh, a little kiss off the tree. And some nice ground play, too. That's going to work really well. Look at that. There's even a chance for a putt there. It's fantastic.
Yeah, take all of that. That's super cool to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of luck to be had, both good and bad, out here at SeaTac, and Carter smashes just about the perfect line. Carries just a little too straight, so it didn't have a chance to finish where Joel's did, but goodness, was that close.
So he lands right in the middle of the fairway. He'll have a mostly unobstructed approach, at least as much as possible with this fairway. So Justin's trying to get a similar line here.
Yeah, really, most of the trouble on this fairway is extreme left, extreme right, but you can see all the trees you have to navigate past with so many opportunities to kick to the left or the right, and or just if you fall kind of short center, you still have a couple walls of trees to get through. And you can see Justin kind of looking like he's gonna have to shape something here to make it through that last line of trees to get on the green. Touches a little bit, but gets up there. He's on the green.
Yeah, the hyzer penetrated through there. Good play. All right. Yeah, so there's a forehand gap.
Just a little too straight for Carter. Thankfully, he did get that early birdie, so he has a chance to still get away without too much damage.
Oh, okay. So he did gonna get out of that tree line.
Doing a bit of disc golf yoga here with a nice extension on the putt. Wow, that looked great. Really good stroke, really good follow through. Just, you know, an inch high, and that's what disc golf is a game of inches. Justin lining up here. Nice smooth stroke. Good par.
Way to get out of that.
Yeah, he did not have the ideal drive, but he made it through, and that's going to be something you gotta kind of dig deep on this course, and you're going to see that a lot out here.
And props again to Joel for absolutely parking it and not hitting his head as he putted out. Good job.
You know, I've played that course many times, and you don't see a drive that good, rarely, if at all.
Yeah.
All right, here we are. Hole 4, par 3, 305 feet. This is in one of 3 locations, the most straightforward location off the tee. Most players will try to throw a semi-neutral stable backhand and keep it in that tunnel. You can see, just kind of follow the walking path right to the basket. There's not really too many options on this hole. It kind of forces you just straight down the tunnel when it's in that location. See what Joel has to offer here. Looking smooth.
Going for the ground play.
Ground play. Yeah, and there's a lot of that here. And he played it well. Okay, unconventional, but it's possible. If you make it down that left side, the wall of trees that separates the right lane and the left lane, you can play through it. It's not ideal, but it's looking like Chandler does like to favor the forehand, so I understand the play. Can't knock the guy for sticking to what he's strong with.
Yeah, he kind of landed right in that first treeway there, if you will.
Sure.
So here comes Carter going for the right-hand backhand line.
Looks like it got up a little high.
Yeah, too high.
Oh no, yeah. That definitely got caught up. And you can see, just like in the previous hole, there is a very defined fairway and a very defined line. If you get even just a little bit off of that, you are going to find yourself scrambling. I have no doubt in my mind that he will scramble well, and looks like he got out with a putt.
So this is where Chandler landed. He's testing out the jump. It's a ridiculous tree line, which is awesome for the viewer, but hard for the golfer. Let's see what happens.
Fantastic that he gets through. Fantastic. And you can see, as I said, there are gaps to play that. It's probably not the most conventional route to play to the wrong fairway, so to speak, and cut back through, but it is an option. And, Chandler seems pretty confident in his forehand. So, like I said, you can't knock him for going to what he feels is best, and he's going to walk away with presumably a par. So,
yeah.
And surprisingly, this hole actually played a little bit under par, which it's not the most difficult, but it can get you in some trouble. No trouble for Carter, hitting a beautiful putt. Love to see it.
It's got a really, really straight, no frills putt. It's nice to watch. Just
absolutely. Yeah, being from the Northwest area, it's been a treat to watch Carter and his brother both playing over the last few years, and just, like I said, really just skyrocketing. And Joel is on one right now. 3 down through 4. If you've played SeaTac, you would beg for that. Most people would. Great start from Joel. On to hole 5. This is another par 3, 315 feet. You can see it's in the left side. That's one of 3 locations. It's a pretty straightforward hyzer. You can see the amount of laurel, I believe that is, the large bush all around it. kind of stops a little bit of a sky hyzer play, but at 315 feet, most of these players should be able to just kind of line drive something at the basket. You can see it there off to the left side of your screen, just above the scores. Hanging it out wide, letting that hyzer push it in on the low. Great drive from Joel. He is really feeling the game right now. Chandler with a laser beam of a forehand. Love to see it. He's on the dance floor, ready to do a little tapping.
Yeah, he's having a great time.
Ooh, must have got caught up just a little bit on its way in. But it should be mostly unobstructed from where he's at. Seemingly.
Yeah. And that I recall this being a fun catch position because I was actively squatting the whole time.
Right.
It was pretty fun trying to get the whole picture, you know. It could land anywhere.
You're filming from the Shire over there. Looks like he's warming up a step putt here. Really good bid, just a little soft, but
1% more power on that.
Falls just in front. Yeah, the line was great. Everything about that looks smooth. Just a little tentative, maybe. It does kind of look like there is a bit of wind blowing in the direction he was putting from, so that may have accounted for some of that.
That's right. Yeah, some of the cottonwood's still out, and that's a blessing and a curse for those that are affected, you know, with asthma and whatnot, or allergies, excuse me. But you can see the wind, you know.
I was gonna say you get a free wind read on every hole there. You just might sneeze a few times. Justin in, keeping it at an even keel. Carter steps out of the way. Joel puts on. I'm putting a birdie in the basket jacket, ready to go. I mean that jacket and those shorts. He's feeling it. All right, here we are, hole 6, the start of the original 18. It's a pretty straightforward shot, 278 feet, slightly low ceiling, mostly when you get to the pin, but it's a pretty straightforward shot. I mean, backhand, forehand, do what you will. I think it shapes better for a backhand, but there's enough room if you have a nice little flip up, you can get it there, and at just under 280 feet, it should be more than reachable by everybody on the card here. And if Joel continues to do what he has been doing, he will have no trouble. And surprise, surprise, he's ready to tap another one in. Great work from Joel.
Clean off the tee, puts it under the basket. What a pro. Here comes Chandler going forehand. Looks like something a little understable that flips up. Ooh, wow.
Yeah, he has great control over that. Like I said, I can see that he definitely favors the forehand, but when you have that kind of control to keep it that straight that long, that's not an issue. So good on him. I very much enjoy getting to watch his game so far. Justin with a nice backhand drive gets a little bit more ground play than he probably hoped for, but looks like he'll have a putt unless he skittled way too far down the hill. Carter with a nice little flip up the gut. Looks like it landed just a little shy of Joel's there. Oh man, he is all over that today though. It's looking really good. Very smooth stroke on his putt. Oh, just a little shy again from Justin, but again, online, you know, these misses aren't big misses. They're just maybe a little jitters, maybe a little weather, but all in all, it's looking good. I look forward to seeing that connect.
Good birdie.
Sneaks it in the left side. Good birdie there for Carter, getting him under par.
And Joel really has a smooth putt. You notice how it just really whips out so smooth? Like
he really does.
Effortless.
He has such good control on the speed and nose angle of a putter. It's on a rope every time he putts. It's one of the more like I said, he's a very methodical player. It's very nice to see it because every putt looks the same. Doesn't matter if it's 90 feet or 7 feet. They look so effortless, like you said. Super fun to watch. All right, hole 7. This is another par 3. You can see having to go over the bush here with the drone. That's pretty much what you want to do with your disc.
Yep, just don't go long. There is a road. Yep.
Yeah, there's a bit out there, but I think the biggest is just making it over the top of that bush. You don't want to be in it. You don't want to be short of it. But as you said, there is a road. There's a road not incredibly far beyond the tree line there. Carter opting for the backhand.
He just missed his line. I think he hits that large green tree back there and drops straight down.
Got eaten up a little bit. There has been a lot of work parties done underneath the bush to kind of clear some of that out, but that is not a place you want to be.
It's pretty neat when you're actually in there. You're like, wow, this is unique. You've never really been into a manicured under a tree. But
yeah, I was a part of a few of those work parties. It was kind of cool to see it after it was cleared out a bit. Chandler gets just a little caught up there, and this hole really does kind of shape for his play, being forehand dominant, it would seem. Justin getting up over the top. Oh my, yeah, that's well over the top.
The road.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That takes a lot of power too. See Carter here inside the wilderness having to throw just pretty much up and over and hope for the best.
So he has an interesting angle. There's one little gap there.
I was gonna say, I gotta be honest with you, that's an angle I've never seen before. Great upshot. Leaner. Joel looking to continue some incredible momentum at the start of this round. Ooh, catches a little bit of that wind, it looks like, because it just rose. Yeah. Still, you know, 5 down through 7 is, wow, what a start. And you know, this hole 7, oh, what a save. Wow. Let me stop everything and just give Justin props for that, because wow, man, what a lot of work to get to where he was on that.
Such an amazing bogey save. Wow.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Especially on a hole that it does average over par. It averaged at 3.21, so the bogey's not the worst score on the hole by far. But yeah, way to scramble
from
back.
The middle of the tree line.
A wild Carter appears.
Hilarious par save there.
Joel says no win for me. I'll put upside down. Thank you. Overall, good work from the card there. A couple of unfortunate mistakes, but you know, live, learn, and throw again.
Yeah. So here comes hole 8.
Yeah, hole 8.
So hole 8's 384 feet. It's pretty much straight hyzer. Get it down there. Watch out for that left part of the front part of the fairway. Excuse me.
Yeah, you can see it's a pretty wide tree gap. Unfortunately, Joel goes too wide right and catches one of the outer trees there. In years prior, that left side had been nearly impenetrable, and there's been a lot of work on the course. This is one of the holes that I think has received the most work. Carter really putting some work on that disc and just crushing it.
Wow. Super
what a drive.
Impressive.
It's just so smooth. Forehand roller. Hey man, if you got a forehand and that's your go-to, that's probably the play for the hole, and that's, you know, getting them up there for a putt. Love to see it.
Out there. Huh?
That is not a shot you see played very often on this hole for sure. Nice little hyzer flip.
Traditional line. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's out there. He'll have a putt. Absolutely.
Great shot from Justin. Chance to get back to even there. He's going to want to capitalize on that. Joel thankfully kicked back to a pretty open area and gives that a good bid. A little bit of a hop, skip, and a jump, but he'll have a putt. Looking to convert on the forehand roller. Nice spin. Just fell a little shy. And for those of you that have never played the course, you can hear the jets going overhead. It is basically in the flight path. What a birdie. Amazing birdie from Carter.
Wow. Super nice.
So there's occasionally some jet wash and some extra wind, but wind is something that's pretty common out there at SeaTac. So.
Yeah, hopefully I've edited that audio to a decent level for the listeners, but beware that is there.
Oh,
it
no.
is part of all distractions. Get that out of your brains.
Unfortunate for Justin after a great drive, too.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of an errant putt, but, you know, he has a chance. Many more holes to play, thankfully, on this 27-hole layout. This is bringing us to hole 9. This is about 428 feet. Par 3, you can see that last little tree line the drone had to go through. That's really the biggest obstacle. There's a few trees you have to clear on the fairway, but even if you clear all those, it is pretty hard to get all the way into the green in one shot. This definitely played as one of the more difficult holes, and you can see Carter getting an unfortunate kick. And much like most of SeaTac, if you're left or right of the fairway, you are going to be doing some work.
Yeah, it is a punishment if you don't hit your gap off the tee. So this pokes through a little bit. You'll kind of see it between those two little tree lines there. Kind of by the trail, if you're familiar. So yeah, here comes Chandler's forehand. Let's see which gap he's going for.
Right up the gut.
Yeah.
He has such smooth power with that forehand, though. It is really fun to watch.
That dances, and it
You know?
penetrated through that first tree line. He'll have a putt. A long one, though.
Yeah, he seems to have really good control over the stability of his discs and being able to flip something up for a little extra distance and really get it to do what he wants to do. So fun to watch. Justin's seemingly just pulls a bit to the right. You can see Carter here having to work from the tree line. Thankfully, he's not too far in it.
Yeah, he's got a patent pending, powerful shot. Just hit a tree, unfortunately.
That is definitely going to take par down to a pretty low percentage for Carter. Not saying it's impossible. The kid's got some talent, but you can see there's a lot to work with here. Looking to play the skip shot. Love to see it.
Ooh, he pins it.
Did the best he could. Fantastic shot.
Minimizing damage is super important in this game, man. He's learning very early on all the things. It's really awesome to see.
Yeah, and this course is a damage-friendly course. There's not a whole lot of OB. It's just natural punishment, right? And I kind of think that's more the style of golf that I feel is more enjoyable. I don't really prefer the artificial OB. This course will punish you well enough on its own.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, Justin to tap in, gets it in there, nice par. And par's going to play well on hole 9. It did play over a half stroke above. It was a 3.53 overall for the round. So getting a par is a score you should be happy with.
Yeah. So one more putt here, and that will conclude our first part of 3. Really appreciate you.